Today I fucked up by realizing I hadn't been using my graphics card for over 2 years. Around 2 years ago, I invested in a new PC that came with a GTX 1050. I didn't really notice any difference in performance when I used a laptop and was struggling to understand why anyone would even want to use a PC if there wasn't that much of a benefit. I continued using it up until a few days ago, where I finally caved in and ordered a new GTX 1660 graphics card. Obviously, I expected this new one to be much better than my previous one. Boy, I was wrong. I felt absolutely no difference whatsoever. It was only until then when I realized the HDMI cable had been connected into the crappy Intel graphics card that comes with every Intel CPU. Too long didn't read, I didn't realize my PC was connected to the crappy built-in graphics card instead of the one that I bought. I've read 3 separate graphics cards today. I fucked ups today. What is happening? Edited spelling. Typically when someone has a rather odd today I fucked up that isn't something huge like this, it makes other people who have had similar fuck ups post. It's just people going, hey, or something like that happened to me. One of the best today I fucked ups I've ever read. Thank you. This happened to me when I moved house not too long ago. My BF gave me his old gaming PC and set it up for me. We moved in together last summer and he was working away from home while we moved. I set up my PC and suddenly it performed way worse than before. I complained to him when he got back a week later, saying how crappy the PC is. He took a look and laughed so hard. I, too, plugged the HDMI into the wrong slot. I built a PC a while back with a MSI 970 Mobile, AMD 8350 processor, and I think a GTX 1070? I can't remember. It was the first I had built. Anyways, I built the PC thinking, this is gonna be up playing my games. It always was slow. I spent a year trying to figure it out. I had asked literally hundreds of people, made hundreds of posts and got nowhere, before I gave up and bought a gaming laptop. About a month ago my wife dropped my laptop and broke the screen, so I had to send it in to be repaired. I decided I would break out the PC and figure it out. After about 4 hours of googling and going down wormholes, I found a post about a slow switch on the actual Mobo. I flicked it the opposite direction and the fucking PC worked like a champ. Why the fuck is there a switch to make your processor operate at 1/4 the capacity? I don't know. Don't worry about it, my roommate got a PC off his brother, hooked it up and was using it for several months before we ended up moving furniture around. I laughed my ass off when I went to unhook PC and saw the same issue. Had a $1,600 graphics card and was using the motherboard graphics. No wonder he complained about graphics a lot before that. Today I fucked up by forgetting I was already on mute. This just happened today. I was on a Zoom call with my class this morning. Now, I haven't been up this early in a while, so I was really groggy. I put my camera off and muted myself because I really just wasn't asked to put up with it. Then it happened. I felt a gurgling in my stomach. Realized what needed to happen. I gotta break the wind. I had a plan, mute myself, release the toxic gas and unmute myself as if nothing happened. I clicked the mute button, let it rip and unmuted myself again as if nothing happened. There was an eerie silence in the Zoom call, then some people started giggling. I knew something was wrong, then I realized my issue and where I fucked up. I was already on mute from when I joined the call. When I muted again, I had actually unmuted myself. I was so tired I just didn't think about it. Everyone heard me free the beast. Everyone. It was like I had done it in an actual class. I was mortified and immediately left and haven't joined back. I'm expecting an email from my teacher on the issue, but I'm not sure he really wants to. I'll update if he does. Everyone watched me, out of the blue, unmute myself, cut the cheese and then mute myself again. This is the worst thing to happen to me throughout lockdown. TL, doctor, I was tired and needed to fart in a Zoom call. I unmuted myself thinking I had muted myself, and farted in front of my whole class. Pro tip, leave your mic on mute and hold spacebar when you want to talk. Hold spacebar when you want to fart. A kid in my class did this very same mistake a month ago and has got a new nickname, Fartface, ever since. This is very comforting, Mr. Buttlicker, thank you. Own it. It's the only way. It is really the only way. Can't just pretend it wasn't me or anything. Especially since there's the green border around you when you speak and all. If someone asks, I'll own up to it, and also own it. Good thing about farts is most people find them funny if they can't smell them. I am Zoom teaching HS students these days and it would make my day. Your story itself is wonderful. So thank you for the joy you caused so many people. Zoom classes are rough for me as a student. I genuinely can't imagine teaching one. I hope the best for your future classes in this bizarre time. This is the first time anyone's thanked me for breaking wind, usually it's just disgust. So you're welcome lol. Today I fucked up by slapping my girlfriend on the rump in front of my 4 years. This occurred about a month ago. My girlfriend was in the kitchen cooking, unbeknownst to me. My 4 years old son was sitting at the dining table having a snack. I walked out of the bedroom, up to my girlfriend and gave her a good at-a-girl slap on the rump. My son immediately perks up. Hey, you hit GF's name. Why? Thinking I was a bit of a wit that can straddle the line between innuendo and educating my son, I replied, she's a bad girl. Sometimes bad girls need a slap, while giving my GF a sleazy old wink. My son nods sagely while my GF just rolls her eyes. End of story as far as I'm concerned. Not so. The next day my ex-wife got a call from preschool asking both parents to come in and see the principal. Apparently, my son's poor old teacher had told him to put away the toys as it was time for another activity. Unsatisfied with this direction, my son went up to his teacher and gave her a big whomp on the cheek. When asked why he did that, my son's reply was, because you a very bad girl. You need a slap. Cue awkward explanation of my domestic habits to my ex-wife and son's principal. I welcome self-isolation. DL doctor had to explain why I slapped my GF on the ass to my son's principal and ex-wife. Edit. I appreciate those who see this scenario as what it was. I know I fucked up. I acknowledge as much by posting in this sub. However, I disagree that somehow that makes me a bad parent. A few of you have taken the opportunity to message me to tell me that I've failed my kid, I should lose custody, or that I routinely go around slapping women because I'm some misogynistic ass bandit. Our family have a great sense of humor and I routinely mess around with my son. He's smart enough, usually, to get when I'm being serious or when I'm just messing around. We've since had a good chat and now my son knows that the incident is just a joke between my GF and I, but that I shouldn't have done it in front of him and he certainly should not do it to anyone else. He gets it. All parties are happy. Not the end of the world. Hope you all are keeping safe and staying isolated. Had a similar conversation with my son's kindergarten teacher years ago. She was basically like, I'm sure he sees playful taps on the bottom at home, but we need to tell him that we can't do that to girls at school. I was pretty mortified to say the least. He turned around and gave that big booty a slap. T-Pain, I think. I would have just said to the principal, kids are weird. I'll have a talk to him about it. My dad used to do this all the time to my mum and I never questioned it, luckily for him. A colleague's little girl did that to me. She was in kindergarten, so was maybe 5 years old. He'd stopped in with his kids after a soccer match and his daughter came over and slapped me hard twice on the bum, saying I was a bad girl. He turned red, grabbed her and apologized seamlessly. It was only when I mentioned it to my husband that night, and he pointed out my black leather skirt, that we wondered if maybe she'd inadvertently seen a bit of her parents' playtime.